Alright, got something really special today. We're stepping back in time. So look at this. This Atlas 260 Mogul. Now it's from the obviously 1800s. Got the 1800s paint scheme. But there's another speciality to this. As you can see in the background there, and hopefully you've figured it out by now, that's Back to the Future, my favorite movie. And look at that! That train looks exactly like the one in Back to the Future. So let me take this out and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, here you are. Looks great out of the box. It looks even better in person than the one I bought. Now if you notice in the movie, this is a 141, but the movie is a 131. Oh well, big deal. I think it's pretty darn close enough. The one in the movie is also all black. This one has a nice fancier paint scheme. I kind of prefer this one because it just looks a lot better than just your standard solid black. So I can't complain. Let's put it that way. I just can't complain at all about this. But there is another special component to why I got this in the first place. Because not only does it look exactly like the car or the train from Back to the Future, which again has and always will be my all-time favorite movie, I also went ahead and did this. Which, yes, that is the DeLorean. That is the Back to the Future DeLorean that I mocked up here, just so it can match up with the movie. I'll talk about how I was able to do that going through this review. But I think it looks awesome, awesome, awesome. As you can see it right there, matches up pretty good. Complete with tire that goes right in the middle there. I took that from the Hot Wheels car, which is exactly what that is. So pretty awesome. We'll get this out on the track so you can see how it looks. I think it looks amazing. It came together really well. So yeah, we'll start reviewing. Alright, here we go. Got it all loaded up on the track just like in the movie. Again, it looks awesome and stunning and cool. I can't believe how well this actually turned out. You can see in the DeLorean, lots of good details there to make it look just like the one from the movie. And then you got, of course, got the engine in the back, which is why we're all here to see how it works. So let me turn this puppy on and you'll see some movie magic. Alright, you can kind of see the one headlight there on the engine. Again, looks really good in motion, just like the movie. Alright, now as for the look of the thing, I'm giving it a 7, because it does look pretty awesome and matches up to the movie really well. Oh well, it didn't have that right number, but who cares? It still looks absolutely cool. And lines up to the movie just as well. And so, overall look, I'm giving it a 7 just because it does match up so well to the movie itself. Now, the scale might be off, obviously, but I don't care. And plus, it's impossible to find an N-scale DeLorean that I can modify to put on the track here. So how I did this to begin with was I took a Hot Wheels car, Back to the Future Hot Wheels car, cut off the bottom, which was kind of hard to get into because it was all metal and had no screws or anything. It was just rivets I had to pry into. But once I got that bottom off, I then took an old caboose that I didn't really like, chopped that up, and then rubber cemented, you can see the two trucks there, to the bottom so that this can fit on the N-scale track and go around like any normal car. So that worked out really good. Again, I love the look. So really glad that this worked out. I wasn't really sure, since I was doing it myself, how it would look. Yes, there are 2 sets of wheels on each side, unlike the movie where they just replaced the regular tires with 2 train tires. But again, I don't really care, because for the most part, I'm going to be seeing this from the top down. And it's an awesome combination to see together there. As for the materials, it's not super high-end, but it's not super cheap either, so I'm throwing it right down the middle at a 5. I think that's pretty fair assessment. So, again, it's not... I think it's all metal for the most part. There might be a few plastic bits, but it's decent. It's a decent job, so they're getting a 5 for this, for materials. As for its uniqueness, how often do you see the Back to the Future DeLorean in N-scale on an N-scale track? Never happens. And in fact, I don't think they exist that you could just go out and buy, which is why one of the reasons why I made it myself. So just that fact alone is helping the uniqueness scale, as well as you don't see this type of old school engine too often. Most of them are from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. This is obviously from the 1880s, if not earlier. So you don't really see that too often, and the ones you do see are pretty, I think, low quality. So kudos to Atlas for making this bad boy. It's it makes my day, because again, when you pair it with the DeLorean I fabricated together, it turns into an awesome pair for the uniqueness scale, which I'm giving a 7 to. As far as the noise level is concerned, it's really quiet. I'm not sure if the video does this justice. Most of the sound you do hear is the wheels, not the motor itself. So the motor's super quiet. And with that said, it's going to get a 9 from me. Really good. Alright, for the slow speed test here, it can be a little bit jerky at times. So it's getting a 3 for that. But hey, you're trying to get to 88. This ain't no engine for running at slow speeds. Here it is again, this time with a couple coaches behind it. You can see it's still kind of jerky. Same as if it's just on its own with a DeLorean in front of it. So again, it's getting a 3. Because it is jerky and probably the worst quality, I'd say, of it. Alright, for the power requirements, this thing takes off like a bullet at very little input. Probably because it doesn't weigh that much to begin with. It's super light. But it doesn't take that much at all to get going, and it really takes off once you hit the full throttle there. So really happy about that. It's getting a 9 on this scale, just because it is really good at very few input from a power perspective. This model does have some pep to it. I'm pretty sure it can get up to 88 miles an hour scale-wise. It's no problem. This isn't even all full throttle. See, here's the speed we're running it at. About 2/3 to 3/4 up the way. Got a lot more speed left in it. Now, motor strength, this thing is surprisingly strong. Like, I was overly impressed with its strength there, for especially if it's the tiniest engine I have. It's super strong. Like, it can pull a lot of cars, more so than a lot of the other bigger engines that I have. So really happy about that. It's getting an 8 on that scale, so really good in terms of its strength. You wouldn't think it from such a tiny little engine and a tiny little motor, but it really packs a punch. I don't know if Doc's been around throwing in those power crystals or whatever into the engine, but this thing really gets going and has some strength behind it, surprisingly. Again, pretty impressive of how powerful and fast this thing can actually move. Now, derailment, haven't really had any problems per se with it actually derailing. However, and every so often, not always, but every so often, when it hits a little snag, when two of the Kato tracks are connected, it will stall because it doesn't have the weight behind it or the length behind it to bridge that gap, if you will. And maybe it's my own fault for having my track down on carpet, but every so often it will stall and kind of get stuck in that gap between two pieces. So I'm calling that a derailment. So with that said, it's getting a 4 because it does happen, but on rare occasions it does. But kind of disappointed that it happens, at all. But again, that might be my problem because I run this on carpet. As for problems, haven't really had any, other than the one that it's stalling. So since that was already kind of accounted for, I'm giving this an 8, just because, again, no problems really on my end. Other than it kind of stalling, which is my own fault, in between two pieces on the carpet. Now, price to value, I think I did pretty good here, especially for the look of the thing, which again looks just so cool, exactly like the movie does. So really, really happy about that. I paid about just over $70 for it, all said and done with shipping and tax and everything. Might have been a little pricey right off the bat, but after I got it and after I was able to modify this Delorean to fit on the N scale, the combination of the two together are certainly perfect, and I couldn't be happier. So with a price standpoint, getting a 7. Again, it was a little bit pricey, but overall I think it's totally worth it. It's certainly not a train wreck by any means, and I won't be running this off of a bridge anytime soon to destroy it, but this is something I'm probably going to keep forever and ever and ever just because it is so awesome. Alright, well, when you add it all up, it gets a grand old score of 67. Would have liked to see it come in at a 85, because, 1885, but hey, I can only give my honest opinion here. But it's still pretty decent. And again, I really like the look of this thing. It looks awesome going around the track. It looks awesome together when you pair it with that DeLorean. Super happy. Wish I could make that futuristic one that Doc has there. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll get to that, because that would be even more ridiculously cool. If I can pull that off somehow. If not, some other company out there makes it to begin with. But yeah, 67 isn't bad. What do you think? What do you guys think? Is this cool? Do you like it? Is there a better way to make this combo together? I don't know. You tell me. Would love to hear your thoughts, what you think of it. Let me know below, and we'll do this again soon. But one last thing before I go here. Keep in mind, your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. Both of you.